Welcome again to another issue. Many of them are in the bank, but we'll try to talk about 5 of the main points today, as the Republican Party is not willing to hear my points. It saddens me, but the American Medical Association, we need to take a clear look at our patient relationship with the pharmacist. The pharmacist is not valued as they need to be in this country. When we go to the doctor, we ask, what is wrong with us? And they will tell us, and they write it down. And then, well, what are our cures? Do we eat better? Do we exercise? Well, if we eat, we go to a garden or a fruit forest. If we exercise, we go to a gym. Ask a trainer for some help exercising. Maybe to a physical therapist. Or the doctor will say, oh, you need to take a pill. Well, then we would go to the pharmacist to decide which pill today would be best for me. That is what the pharmacist does, is they work with pills. They will give us good quality pills to work with what we need. And the reason for doctor's expense, in my humble opinion, is one doctor's license in New York is not transferable to the next state. You can't change states with your doctor's license, like an automobile license or a commercial truck driver's license. If you get one in New York, you can drive your truck all the way to California and back and just pay gas tax. That's all we really need to do with our doctors. If he's qualified to be a doctor in New York, he's also qualified to be a doctor in California, Texas, even Austin. He may have to pack a gun, but he can be a doctor in Austin, even if he comes from New York and he's a city slicker. Probably a pretty good doctor, just mind the city slicking clothes. Then we have the second main issue we need to talk about to fill my platform. The American Bar Association. It's a private company in a public courtroom. The DAs get out and go into child custody. The system is broken. We do not wish to have Roman justice law in our country anymore. No more Roman justice or Zion law. Our founders and our fathers, they died for protecting this country for common law. So the commoner like you and I can walk into another common person and say, hey, we're having a dispute. Can you resolve it for us? Rather than having to go pay an attorney, a private company, to go in front of another one of his friends. And if you'll notice at the California Highway Patrol, they put on their sting about October to arrest drunk drivers. It doesn't matter if you're drunk or not. They just go through a sting and throw you in and get your car impounded. It's so other attorneys can then make money off you. It's a system. We need to stop the system. Please think hard about replacing this manipulative Roman justice that we received in 1872. It was one of these afterthoughts. Once the Queen got a hold of us, this is something else she has given us. We wish to give her Roman justice back. We wish to give the Zion Navy their Zion law back and the Roman soldiers their Roman justice back. We can take care of ourselves. What are you protecting us from anyway? Us? Third is the main important issue of George Washington, our founding father. His main issue for our children, his main point. Species of knowledge is the most important thing to teach our children. Yes, species of knowledge. This may sound different and unique, but it just means knowledge coming from different areas. Nebraska and Iowa kids here, they're real good at husbandry. Yeah, they got chickens. Murray McMurray Chicken Hatchery, the best in the world. Murray McMurray Chicken Hatchery. And I forgot the name of the town in Iowa. You put Murray McMurray in Iowa Chicken Hatchery, you'll find the very best chickens in the world. Obviously, get the super duper special, then you get a bunch of males. They're the very cheapest you can get. And then you have entertainment for an inexpensive 25 birds. And oh wow, do the children love it. And they always make a mistake. You get a few females. Anyway, Murray McMurray Chicken, a great place. We're talking about the Ronald Reagan building and why it's so important to have a species of knowledge. Because the kids in the Gulf Coast, they're going to be real good at fisheries. The kids up in North Dakota, I believe, should be pretty good at welding and drilling for natural gas. It seems like this country's going to be flipping over to compressed natural gas one way or another. Get out of the way, because the country's coming forward. We're putting our big trucks, we're putting compressed natural gas stations in, we're doing it without any assistance from anybody. 100 stations a year going in, right down the middle of this country, every 200 miles strategically. The contracts are already signed. The truck stops are already involved. We need to find a few more vendors for gas. I'd say a few Indian tribes. I haven't gotten to them yet though, but we'll get Indian tribes jumped on clean natural gas. We'll have stations on theirs, and then anybody that's on a highway that has natural gas, please contact us, because we need to put a station on yours also. Do it on your own. You don't need me, but I'll be happy to assist. So the Ronald Reagan building, and that's so important on how much education is important for our children. Not one Department of Education in Washington, D.C. that we can save $1 trillion. I don't know how many trillions we need to save, but $1 trillion. We bring all of our soldiers home because the opium and cocaine wars are jokes. We let the pharmacist deal the drugs straight to the patient. The clean, clean, clean. That's what we want. Safe, sane, and sanitary. We do not make the choices for people. We do not wish them to make bad choices, but if we are going to make a choice, give them clean product. So we bring our soldiers home, and we have so many vacant homes. Last time our war was over, the Great War, we brought all the soldiers home. We had to build lots of houses. We don't have to do that this time. We bring in divisions. We'll put one in, say, Las Vegas and Henderson. And they sit down, and then they get every 7th home or something that's vacant. They just take them over. We've already shut down Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac because we got to put them into the Treasury Department. That's my next issue. We'll get there in a moment. So in the Ronald Reagan building, we save ourselves $1 trillion by closing it down. And then we also save 50,000 teachers. That's right, 50,000 teachers. It's hard to believe, but yes, 50,000 teachers can be employed overnight if we shut down the Department of Education. The reason for this is there's one employee in every school district devoted straight to doing the paperwork for the Federal Department of Education. Please, please, America, we know what's right. Let's do what's right. The next is to consolidate the Treasury Department. Make it strong again. Put the Federal Reserve in it. It will cause some hiccups and some burps, and yes, we may get a little bit of tang from one of these large wealthy people. But I believe the Bohemian Group has agreed to surrender. They're going to go to China. So they've left Sonoma County, Northern California, and they're on their way to Bohemian Grove in China. They are going to, January 1st, outlaw opium to the people in China. So they'll have to deal with the, it's a different story, and this is a public comment here. So we take the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and we replace it back into the Treasury Department, which gives us an enormous amount of inventory of homes that we own free and clear because they're defaulting on them, so we foreclose on them, so there's vacant homes in the piles. The Bank of America now is just dumping back to the federal government. Wells Fargo, bless you, but I know you're also doing the same thing. You'll be bought though, don't worry, Wells Fargo. So these companies are dumping these large quantities of inventory in. We have all these soldiers overseas in Germany, Korea. Bring them all home. We are having an issue. We're going to have a World Constitution Convention in America, right in my property in Akron, Colorado. I've called for it. I'm asking for it. I have the land for it. Please come. The issue is being thrown in jail. I have this habit of getting myself tossed in the pokey. Never charged with anything, just tossed in, and basically they want to know who I am because I don't look like the standard person. And I do not speak like the standard person either, since most police officers violate the penal code as soon as they walk up to you. They're in violation of the law. But we have this issue with the federal government giving $100,000 to 43,000 police departments so they can pull people over for seatbelt violations. Anyway, that's getting off our. My fifth plank, and I'm running out of time, so I gotta hurry up, is to take 1/3 of federal lands and distribute it for compensation to the Bureau of Indian Affairs for the fraud and deceit. Please join. Please join for free, where the earthquake revolution is right here. Do not fear. We are here and we are near. The earthquake revolution has started. We are not afraid. We are coming to save the world. The Bohemian Grove has agreed to step down. Relax. Armies, relax. I have been vetted. I am the chosen one to help. I will push this wheel in the karmic
forward.